Good morning, America. Severe storms on the move and striking overnight. Ginger is tracking which major cities are in the path. Plus, the major rivers flooding and the dangerous heat. Soaring temperatures hitting the Northeast. We'll tell you how the weather might cause a travel headache ahead of July 4th.
All eyes on the Supreme Court, set to issue major rulings on Donald Trump, January 6th, and abortion rights.
On the front lines of the high-stakes mission to get humanitarian aid into Gaza, Martha Raddatz is at the pier built by the U.S. military with an up-close look at the delicate operation and the challenges it faces.
Breaking overnight, Evan Gershkovich in court in Russia. The trial getting underway for the Wall Street Journal reporter detained for more than a year on espionage charges.
Missing in Paradise, the desperate search for an American woman who disappeared on a yoga retreat in the Bahamas. Her mother joins the search.
Deadly shark attack.
I feel so upset and devastated, but I also have a weird calmness in my heart knowing that he's in a better place.
The widow of the surfer killed speaking about his life.
Celine Dion gives fans a raw look at her private and painful health battle as the Grammy winner suffers the effects of stiff person syndrome. Why she insisted a nearly 10-minute-long medical episode be included in her new documentary.
Nationwide ice cream recall. The alert about the popular brands that could be in your freezer.
Into the wild, Janai goes undercover.
Panda paws.
Giving us an exclusive look at the delicate job of raising and caring for panda cubs in China before they're set free.
And it's pandemonium in Times Square.
This is getting ridiculous.
Find out our unstoppable lineup for the GMA Summer Concert Series.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning, America. Yes, that big reveal is coming up, and it is great to be here with the invincible and unstoppable Linsey and Gio.
Oh, it is so good to be here with you both. We're having a great morning, but you know who's having an even better morning? Janai. She is in China for us this morning. She is all in on this assignment, as you can tell right there. She's got an exclusive look at the incredibly delicate operation to care for panda cubs, and we can't wait for that.
Yes, looking forward to that. Also had our countdown to the first presidential debate now just one day away as President Biden gets a surprise endorsement and what Donald Trump is saying after his gag order was partially lifted.
But we begin with the dangerous weather. Intense heat in the Northeast with severe storms taking aim. And Ginger is here with the track and timing. Good morning, Ginger.
Hey, good morning. It's been a violent overnight, and now we're waking up this morning. Fayetteville, Arkansas, Fort Smith, just east of Tulsa, in a severe thunderstorm watch. There are 70-plus mile-per-hour winds just sinking south. And so in this area until 11 a.m., we've got this watch up, meaning that the conditions are primed to make bad weather. And they had it last night. Oklahoma City, damage to buildings, roofs off. They're going to get out and do surveys today. Most of it would likely be winds 70 to 80, but we'll watch for that. And then there were 11 reported tornadoes between Nebraska and Iowa. And so we'll see more of this because this is a really big frontal, kind of big difference in temperature and a difference in moisture. And that's going to be really powerful from the high plains. They could see more hail, damaging wind main threat throughout Arkansas and Mississippi. And then here in the Northeast, and this is where we have to pay attention, it starts late afternoon from west to east. I'd say New York City, it's more like 10 p.m. Washington and Baltimore, you could see some of those front storms start up maybe in the afternoon drive. So just have two ways of getting warnings. And yes, this could impact travel.
Yeah, be careful. All right, Ginger, we're going to check in with you all morning long. Thank you so much. And all of this weather is threatening to wreak havoc on air travel. And it comes at the worst time, just ahead of what promises to be a very busy July 4th holiday in the skies. Ariel Reshef is at LaGuardia Airport now here in New York with more. Good morning, Ariel.
Hey, good morning to you, Gio. The record-breaking travel season already underway. This airport is buzzing this morning. The TSA saying that Sunday was the busiest day in its history. Agents screening nearly 3 million passengers on Monday alone. Airlines now bracing for an unprecedented surge in the coming days. The FAA expecting tomorrow will be the busiest day for air travel of the year so far. That severe weather that Ginger mentioned already threatening to cause a major headache in some areas. Storms wreaking havoc yesterday with more than 8,000 delays nationwide. The FAA is warning that from the southwest all the way up to the east coast, we could see some major interruptions. So be sure to check with your carrier before you head to the airport. Linsey.
All right. Thank you so much, Ariel. Now to the countdown to the first presidential debate set for tomorrow night. Our chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce and Rachel Scott, who's following the Trump campaign, are tracking the very latest. Mary, we'll start with you. President Biden has been hunkered down at Camp David practicing for the big showdown. What can you tell us?
Well, that intense prep continues today, the final day for him to prepare. The president is doing 90-minute mock debates at Camp David. His personal attorney, Bob Bauer, filling in, playing the role of Donald Trump. And while the president remains behind closed doors publicly, his campaign is continuing to give us a preview of what's to come tomorrow night. They are hammering Trump where they feel he is most vulnerable. Today, arguing that he is a danger to democracy. And today, they're now getting some backup from a Republican. Former Congressman Adam Kinzinger is now officially endorsing the president, citing Trump's role in inciting the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Now, Kinzinger has been a vocal critic of the former president, and he says that while he certainly doesn't agree with President Biden on everything and that as a lifelong conservative, he never thought he would see himself endorsing a Democrat, but he says that the stakes are simply too high in this race, saying he is backing Biden because of his, quote, unwavering support for democracy. And another issue that the president is likely to tout tomorrow night, his actions on immigration. The White House this morning, it says that the president's recent executive action on asylum has cut border encounters by more than 40%, while they say Republicans continue to block border security measures. Lindsay.
Mary, we will be watching that debate together. Thank you. Rachel, I want to bring you in here. We know Donald Trump has been holding policy sessions with his advisors, and now we're learning that the judge in his hush money trial has partially lifted the gag order ahead of the debate. What will that mean?
Yeah, and the timing here is critical because we know that Donald Trump has been speaking with his advisors about how he should handle questions about his conviction. And so now the judge partially lifting this gag order, which will allow the former president to talk about the witnesses in the case, including his former fixer, Michael Cohen, and also about the jurors who found him guilty on those 34 counts of falsifying business records. Trump, though, still not happy about this, calling it ridiculous, insisting that the gag order needs to be lifted entirely. He is still barred from going after prosecutors and their families ahead of his sentencing. Something the former president is also frustrated about, that there will be no live studio audience at that debate. He says it will be harder for him to gauge how he's doing, though aides and allies think it might keep him more on message. Lindsay.
We'll be watching intently tomorrow. Rachel, thank you so much, and Mary as well. Tomorrow night on ABC, watch the CNN presidential debate simulcast. It all starts at 8 p.m. Eastern with the ABC News special Race for the White House with David Muir. I'll be there as well with the ABC News political team. Rebecca?
You'll be leading that charge with David Muir. Lindsay, thank you. Now to the major Supreme Court rulings expected as early as this morning. They'll have a big impact on the election involving Donald Trump, January 6th, and abortion rights. Our senior national correspondent, Terry Moran, is at the Supreme Court. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, Rebecca. And then there were 12 cases left for the justices to decide, including some of the biggest cases of the year. There's that major abortion case out of Idaho, which pits that state's ban on abortions unless necessary to prevent death against a federal law that says that any patient who comes into an emergency room must get emergency care, even in those rare and tragic instances when that care might mean the termination of a pregnancy. This is the first major abortion case the court has taken since it overturned Roe versus Wade 2 years ago. And then there's a case brought by a man who joined the mob that attacked the Capitol on January 6th, and he says that he and hundreds of other defendants have been improperly charged with obstruction of an official proceeding because they argue that law was originally passed by Congress to deal with business and financial crimes. And then the biggest case of the year, Donald Trump's claim that he is absolutely immune from criminal prosecution for his efforts to overturn the 2020 election, including January 6th, because Trump argues presidents cannot be prosecuted for actions they took while in office. And he says what he did were official actions. So 12 cases left. The justices are expected to wrap up their work by Friday. Lindsay?
All right, a lot of impact there. Still on the line, Terry Moran for us. Thank you. Now to an up-close look at the pier off Gaza that was built by the U.S. military to deliver humanitarian aid in the war zone. Our chief global affairs correspondent, Martha Raddatz, is in Tel Aviv for us this morning. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, Lindsay. We've been told again and again there will be no American boots on the ground in Gaza, but this pier is as close as you can get without stepping on the shore.
It is the only way to get to the pier. Armed U.S. Navy vessels powering through the Mediterranean Sea along Israel's shores, heading south to Gaza. We don body armor and helmets as the boat slowly approaches the war zone.
If it goes off and we say incoming, That means that we have the rocket, artillery, or mortar coming in.
And then the first breathtaking look at the pier and the massive destruction behind it. Entire neighborhoods reduced to rubble for as far as the eye can see. The need for aid staggering. A new report says more than 2 million people, or 96% of those in Gaza, face high levels of acute food insecurity.
Seeing the destruction in Gaza makes you realize how important these humanitarian missions are. And you can also feel on this pier just how unstable it can be in rough seas. We can feel every time there is a swell and you hear the clanking of the parts below me.
We saw trucks rolling onto the pier from ships that carry them from miles away. But since it became operational in mid-May, the high winds and heavy seas have shut down the pier 3 times. Part of it breaking off just over a week after aid started to flow. As of today, there have been only 18 days of delivery.
You know that your critics, when they read how many times this is broken down or you had to stop, say this is really not doing that much good, it's just cover.
There's that. I understand there are critics of that, but the sea is a violent mistress. She is demanding, and each time that we have taken damage, we've come back stronger.
And while there have been no attacks on the pier, it is without question in a dangerous place.
While there are no American boots on the ground in any way, they say, on the shores of Gaza itself, they do get within about 50 feet. You plan for the worst, you hope for the best.
Exactly how we're approaching it.
Did you plan for the worst?
We did plan for the worst. It seems like it's bad right now. This is actually very, very good conditions. We're watching the weather several days in advance, and we will pull this pier before it takes that kind of damage again.
It's a tough environment.
Right. So, one, joint logistics over the shore is inherently challenging. With that said, what you're seeing here before you has never been done before.
So far, it is estimated that more than 8,000 huge pallets have been delivered, about 13 million meals transported across this pier. But while much of that aid has been delivered to the shore, not nearly enough has actually been delivered because the danger to the convoys and lack of security. But the U.S. will continue to try as long as possible, but with the realization they have not even come close to delivering what they thought they could.
While the pier is authorized to operate until the end of July, it could extend, but August is when the seas get rougher. Rebecca?
A lot of factors to work through here. Okay, Martha, thank you. We turn now to breaking news overnight. The trial of an American reporter, Evan Gershkovich, is underway in Russia. He's been held in prison for more than a year on espionage charges, and Maggie Rulli is tracking the latest. Good morning, Maggie.
Hey, Rebecca, good morning. Yeah, Evan Gershkovich was put on trial this morning in a city about 1,000 miles from Moscow. Now, this trial is being held behind closed doors, and the media was only given a brief glimpse of the Wall Street Journal reporter. He's being held in a glass cage. He's been given a prison-style shaved haircut, and he's not permitted to speak. Now, Evan is the first American reporter seized by Russia since the Cold War. He's been held in detention for more than a year on espionage charges that both the U.S. and the Wall Street Journal condemn as fabricated. Now, the Wall Street Journal's editor forcefully denounced the trial as bogus and has made it clear once again that Evan is a reporter. Now, just today, the U.S. Embassy says the Kremlin is using American citizens as bargaining chips, and they're demanding Gershkovich be freed, as well as another American currently being held, Paul Whelan. Now, Gershkovich's next trial date has been announced as mid-August. Gio?
All right, Maggie, thank you so much. And we're going to switch gears here to get the latest on the 2 giant pandas that are coming to San Diego Zoo. And Janai Norman is in China with an exclusive look at the incredibly delicate operation to care for panda cubs. Janai, we've been texting. I know you're having a good time, but I'm a little jealous. You've made some new besties.
Jiao Shanghao Gio and Jiao Shanghao Meigua. That is me working on my Mandarin to say good morning, Gio, and good morning, America. We are here in the city of Ya'an in southwestern China. This is part of the Sichuan province, which is home to several critical panda centers, and it's literally like a panda hub. So about 2 hours or so from here, we had the incredible privilege of visiting a wilderness training base, and that's where these highly specialized conservationists are working to prepare panda cubs, those adorable giant panda babies, to be released into the wild.
It's not easy to get to the invite-only wilderness training base.
We're just starting and I'm already out of breath.
To reach the remote preserve, we trek 40 minutes on foot, up a very steep incline, and finally traverse across a rudimentary bridge.
It's beautiful out here, but it is a pretty tough hike.
Where Ranger He Shangshan has me try on an unusual work uniform.
Panda paws.
So-called undercover panda suits, protecting captivity-born cubs from getting used to being around humans. In some cases, they need to protect the babies from not just seeing humans, but also smelling them, dousing the suits in what I'll just call panda scent. Luckily, my suit was not sprayed in Eau de Panda.
我们每天的话，就是工作的话，就是除了这个用这个无线电监测设备监测它的这个位置，还要就是说围绕这个。
It's kind of like a baby in a crib at home. If they can, they'll find a way to escape. The goal? To release them into the wild once they've lost their baby teeth and grown bamboo-tearing permanent teeth. Solitary animals who sleep about 20 hours each day, the pandas were elusive during our trek here. But at the Wolong base of the Panda Center,
The way that they are like nestled in those trees.
I learn about the delicate science of encouraging pandas to mate.
Why is it so challenging for pandas to have babies?
The annual panda mating season lasts just 3 days. Gestation, a mere 3 weeks. Born blind and deaf, newborns are cradled around the clock for about 3 days by the mother, who doesn't even eat during this time. When twins are born in the wild, the mother can only care for one, abandoning the other. But at this facility, a team strategically collects the abandoned cub and provides stored mother's milk, the critical antibody-rich colostrum they need to thrive, reintroducing the cub to mom and twin when the cub is stronger and mom can care for both. The survival of each and every cub is a cause for celebration here and around the world, like this panda, born at the Smithsonian's National Zoo in 2020, aptly named Little Miracle.
And so, guys, this is why panda diplomacy being back is so exciting, because those two giant pandas, Yun Xuan and Xin Bao, they're going to be heading to San Diego. But as we will show you later this week, more of our adventures here in China, I went to Bamboo U. That's what we're calling it, where I learned all about bamboo, how to break it, to feed it to the pandas. We've got a lot more coming up this week, guys.
Oh, gosh. Janai, you're looking good in that panda suit.
Without the Eau de Panda, though, thank goodness.
Thank goodness. All right, Janai, looking forward to your reporting. Thank you.